So input validation. We've kind of done that already with try and accept. So let me just pull up. So we would do something. Let me set my donut out of the way. I'm such a professional teacher. Got donuts in front of me. So we have while true. We did something like this last. If I could type while true, print, enter. Oh, age, not name. And then age is input. And then try, we would do try. Age is int age. What's this line doing? Why do we have this int age?
Whole number. Not decimal.
Yes, we're making sure it's not a decimal. And so if they type in 12 and a half, it's going to make it what? 12. Just gets rid of the decimal. So it could be 12.9999999, but it would still essentially round down. And what if they typed in a word? It would error out. So that's why we have the accept, or we will have the accept. Now what happens if I don't have anything following the accept?
Blankets, all the errors.
Any sort of error.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Then we go print. Because if I want to try this and I get this error, but if I get a different error, I want to do something else type thing. Please use numbers. What does continue do?
Sends it back to the top.
So it's going to send it back to
Print.
enter your age, yes. So continue. And then if age is less than 1, print, please enter a pause, continue, otherwise break. Oh, yeah, I forgot you can do this. You guys haven't seen this before, have you? That's something I think I forgot to go over with you guys.
Curly cube brackets.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the. You want to do like plus age? You can put an F in it.
Oh, that's right. I can't read. Format. So basically what it does, and there's a bunch of different things you can do with strings, and I think next, in one of the chapters, otherwise I'll go back and find it, we do print, hello, and it was %s, and then you do age, comma. No, oh, what is it? Now I feel stupid because it's on the video. Thanks, Josh.
I've commented on like 30 so far.
I know I haven't uploaded a bunch of them. I can't remember that. But it's one of the base. It's not like basic string manipulation because it's formatting of strings. So it's like format. Those of you who remember format, where you can tell how many decimals you want after. It's a form of that. But for now, what this does, it's basically saying if whatever's in the curly Q brackets matches a variable, print that variable. What happens if we do and yeah. So grab the remote. I think I might have skipped that part in the book. So this would be a long way of doing a while validation loop. making sure that what the user types in is a number greater than 0 and it is not a word. Like most things in coding, there's a much faster way. Because that's something that's pretty common, right? When you're doing something that's common in code, odds are someone's written something already. Like our leap year thing, finding a leap year might be a common thing. It's more common than you would think, probably. Because anything with like a calendar, any sort of calendar app, any sort of figuring out the date of the day of like February 14th, 92, what day was that? You need to be able to figure out if it's a leap year or not, because it does it, either 29 days in February, those sorts of things, a scheduling app, all that stuff. Finding out whether or not a year is a leap year or not is somewhat common. So someone wrote code for it already that you can copy and paste. Now, your scripts or your video game that you built last time when you took intro, that thing would have had pieces of common things, but you take those pieces of common things, put them together into something unique. So that's kind of what your script is going to do for your final. You guys have to write scripts that do something. You pull things from the book, from the internet, put them together into something unique. So we don't necessarily want to have to type this every single time, right? You could save this and import it into your files, which we're going to do something like that. But we don't necessarily want to have to do this every single time. So what we're going to do is, now you guys will want to copy this. Import Pyinputplus.
It's not installed.
Oh, you guys remember how to install modules? No? All right. Open your command prompt. Because it says in the book. Hit the Windows button, and then hit CMD. And then you're going to type in pip install Pyinputplus. And if you don't get an error immediately, you're good.
Where is it?
Oh, I need to upgrade. No idea if I
Seems
spelled
like
that.
my pip's always out of date.
Yeah.
Let's go to your search bar.
Right. Wait,
And
time
search
to upgrade
command
pip.
prompt. There. And then you do pip install.
What? There we go. Upgraded.
Oh, you haven't installed pip either.
Do you have this? Did you type this and did it work?
No, I typed it.
It said,
He doesn't have pip. I don't.
said you were using pip version 19.
Yeah, so upgrade it.
I did. I typed in upgrade pip.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
No, you can't just type upgrade pip. You have to type in all of this.
Yeah. Forgot to type Python.
Python space hyphen m space pip space install space hyphen upgrade pip.
How do I
How do you install what? Pip should be
I don't know.
installed.
It might be.
Did you install Python at the beginning of this semester?
Oh, yeah. I did by himself.
You did? Did you add Python to path? Okay. It's okay. We'll just I'm pretty sure I made sure to tell you that.
I don't think you did.
You did take this class like sophomore year.
Yeah, I took it on the other surface.
I know. But when you installed Python on this surface, I'm pretty sure I told you. It's no big deal. It's a good review.
I don't know how that is.
Josh, does yours work?
With
Pip install?
everything's good.
Okay. Nick, did yours work?
Not
Well,
sure.
upgrade Pip and see if it works. If that doesn't work, then I got to show you how to do this.
Input, what?
Pyinputplus.
I think I did it.
All right. Well, the way you tell is you go into here, and if you type in Pyinputplus and you don't get an error, then it's installed. So Nick, when you do this, do you get an error? Nick, or Nick. I was looking at Micah and I said Nick. Sorry, Nick. You're good. Micah, what about you?
They don't work with first. Yeah, it's not working.
Okay. And when you do pip install,
It says pip is not recognized as an internal or external command.
okay. So follow along with me. You other two should just pay attention because this is good computer knowledge to know. So click your little magnifying glass and you want to type in environment. And what we're doing is we're going into the computer and we're telling it what things can do what. So it should open this. We're going to go to environment variables. And you should see the ones for your name, your login, and for the system. We're going to change them both because I'm not 100% sure which one works. But I know if you do both, it works 90% of the time. So this path, what this does is this allows you to run programs from command prompt that are in this location. So if you don't do anything, if you don't add, when you install Python, if you don't add it to path, it won't work. So what you need to do, and those of you, and you two should probably do this actually, unless you've done it for your Python script folder on your desktop. Do you guys have a Python script folder on your desktop? Do you?
I don't even think I have. I never put it on my desktop.
Oh, well, do you have a folder that you're saving all your stuff in?
Yeah.
Because once we get into running command prompt and from Windows Run,
Yeah.
which is this thing,
You just want us to attach it or create another path to our file?
yeah. So wherever you're saving it. So what you need to do, Micah, because these two are already good with this. This is what you need to do. You need to open up File Explorer, and you're going to have to go to a very specific space. So open File Explorer, go to local disk C, go to Users, go to your name. Do you see app data? No? Okay. Then what we need to do is you need to go to view up top. Then options on the right side. Change folder and search options. Then you go to the view tab. And it should say don't show hidden folders, files, or drives. You want to change that to show hidden files, folders, or drives.
Okay.
Click OK. Now do you see app data?
Yeah.
Okay, double click app data. Go to local. Programs. Python 37. Scripts. Is there random in here? Yeah, there's pip. What? So just
I have 3 pips.
okay. So this is what you're gonna do. Up here, so don't go into scripts folder. Just stay in your Python 37-32. Go up here. Copy this. Is that a phone? Oh, thanks, Chris. Once you've copied that, you got to go back to your environment variables. Click new, paste. Then what I do, notice I have scripts. I have the 37-32 and I have 37-32/scripts. So I would add that /scripts just to be safe. Make sense? You got them both? Oh, that actually was nice. I like not having those lights on, at least for now. Makes it. You got it?
Yeah.
Should we create one for our folder?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys.
We're supposed to be doing this.
No.
We can do one.
No, Micah, do you got those two? Okay, then we're gonna click OK to save them. Now all 3 of you.
Wait, what do you mean 2?
You have the 37-32.
There's this one and this one.
Mine's 38-.
Oh,
that's
but Do you have the one with scripts and the ones without scripts?
Oh. Okay, now I do.
Okay, we're gonna click OK. Then what I do, let's go down to the system, do the same thing. Oh. Yeah, no, you don't need to do that one. So,
Should I try pip now?
no, yes, pip will work, but hang on, don't go off track. All three of you now need to navigate to wherever your folder is going to be. That's going to have your Python scripts. Or whatever you put in here. So see this file? It's called mapit.py. What it does is when I type in Windows R, it brings this up, and I could type in Vail, Colorado, Vail, CO, and what it does is it actually opens up Google Maps to that place. And you can code it to where it'll give you directions. I don't use Google, so when I type in locations, it always brings up Bing or Apple Maps, and it really annoys me. So I just wrote this script, and it saves me 10 seconds every time I run it, which is one of the things you can do for scripts. It can be one thing you do over and over that saves you 10 seconds, or you can write a script that takes over and does an hour's worth of work in 30 seconds. So you got different types of scripts. But yeah, that's any file that's saved in here, you'll be able to run from here. And that's going to be necessary in some of our future assignments. So make sure you have this. I save mine to my desktop because it's easy. Once you have the location, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to copy the file location. We're going to go back to our system variables, environment variables. Again, we're going to go to path, click edit, click new, and paste it. Again, I already have mine there, so I don't need to. I would also do it for system variables. Why I have mine going to, or that sounds weird. In my path variables here, I have the one to my desktop. I do not have the one to pip.
Once you are in an environment, where do you go?
So once you type, you see this right here.
Yeah.
Go to environment variables, and this pops up.
And you go to path.
And then yeah, it's the path.
Top.
Top and bottom. So you click path and then click edit, and it brings up everything that's there.
So I copy and paste that. What about my other folder that's not scripts? I put that in there too.
No, if pip worked in command prompt, you're good.
Sweet.
I'm still not recognized.
Close out command prompt and try it again.
I did.
Oh.
Should make this a lesson in your intro class. Be like,
I did.
he's getting Micah.
I did. I made them every time intro installs it, I say double click the installer and don't do anything else. And then I show them add Python to path, and I go around and I make sure that they've added it to path. Because I tell them in the advanced class, if you take it, it saves about 20-30 minutes worth of, not 20, but it saves this time.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, cool. We good?
Wait. How do I
Just copy that thing inside the quotations without the quotations. Yeah. You have to go. Copy and paste usually. You have to get one over. Or we can do that.
You guys good?
uh,
Okay.
is This is so long.
Yeah. Is it pi? It's pi. Is it pi?
Pi input plus.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not. There we go.
All right, we good? Okay. So this is a lot of, these are just, it's kind of like random. So import random, you can use random.int, you can use random.randrange, you can do random.choice in order to select a random thing. It just depends on what you're trying to do. And it does involve a little bit of memorization, but you can also look up list of random modules. So that's kind of what this is. You do need to know that they exist, but you can always look up Pyinputplus modules. So the first one, now that we have this, we're gonna do as Pyinputplus, Pyinput, Pyip. Yep. So now what we're gonna do, where's my mouse? There it is. Okay. So we're gonna go response equals pyp dot input num. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
In 2 lines of code, I just rewrote all of that. Almost all of that.
Could you have taught this last semester?
I could have.
Saved so much.
I could have.
There's like 11 different ones of that, like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the book. Like yes or no.
Yes, no, booleans. So really just, again, this is one of the things that I know it exists. I know where it is in my book. As you use them, you'll remember probably 3 or 4 of them that you use all the time. But then you'll also go, oh, I need one that accepts true or false, not yes or no. I gotta go to my book for that real quick. So is it a number? Do you guys think this is gonna be okay with negatives?
Yeah, I think so. Aren't no, because that's a flow, right? Oh, that is okay.
Any number. Even
oh,
0.
yeah, it's no.
Yeah, exactly. And then what if we do negative 2? So it's any number. As long as they type in a number, boom, we're good. Where is my mouse keeps disappearing? Well, what if we want to tell them what type of number we want? Where do you think we put our prompt? Because you remember how input, please enter your choice here. Pearl, whatever. How do we display this? Well, all we do, just like we do here, yep, we just put this inside of here. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is going to be cool. We can also do input number, which is what we've been doing. We can do input int, which prevents us from typing in a decimal. We can also do float.
Is the int in the book?
Yep. Wait, why is 234 being accepted? I want it to be a float.
234.0.
My man, that's right. So any integer can be made into a float by adding 0.0, but not every float can be made into an integer, but you lose the decimal.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, and these are the min, max, greater than, or less than keyword arguments. It's just in that paragraph, right above where you do a maximum or minimum. So let's do that. Let's do an integer. Enter your choice here, and then what's the maximum we want this number to be?
100.
What do we want? Do we want it to have a minimum?
99.
10. Pretty cool, huh?
In some of the book, like the date time thing, how would you ensure that you enter the correct format for the input date time?
Let me get there.
Okay.
Because that is custom.
Am I using another version of the book?
I'm online, dude.
So am I. But apparently there's two versions of it.
Do you have 2E? So in the URL should be automatetheboringstuff.com/ I have 2E
Yeah, I have to be too.
/ chapter 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's date time?
There's input string, choice, menu, date time.
I have date time.
Yeah.
Are you just talking about that module in general? Or is
Yeah.
there a section of the book that you're confused on?
No, it's just that module, the like
Oh.
how you ensure that you did the right date time sort of thing.
Oh.
Wait, yes, no. But yeah, like what is the date?
So 12/12/2020 at 12:00:00.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is something that we will get to.
You have to do seconds too.
I don't think you have to do seconds.
Date time, date time.
Yeah, no, we will get to that shortly. Because the way Python formats date time, you have year, month, day, hour, second, and it's a time thing. It's its own object. So if we do x is type x, oh, it's class date. Okay, more or less same thing. So then you do x dot year, x dot day, x dot month.
Gotcha.
Make sense? So with the date and time, it's basically you would say enter date and time, and you would put month, or no, year. No, you could put month, day, year, hour, colon, minute.
Gotcha.
And then that tells me, oh, I need to set it up in that format. If you don't do it this way and you type in 11113, see, it's not a valid time because the year 1 doesn't really exist, and 2:2 isn't really a time. So if we do 220, still not a valid time. There you go. Let's get back to, where were we? Oh, the min and max less than. So let me scroll back up. So what if we just want it to be greater than, no, let's get rid of this. Greater than what? We just want their number to be greater than what? 5. Response That's kind of the same way as saying
Same as me.
minimum of 5. But what you can do is minimum 5 less than, so if it's greater than 5, less than 10. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
Do you remember the relative min and max from calculus?
Vaguely.
I don't.
I remember having to create my own maximum and minimum functions. So it was like, you have a perfectly circle lake, because those exist, and you walk at like you swim at 2 meters per second, and you walk at 4 miles per second. How much of the trip, and you want to go from exactly the bottom to the top of the circle, what's the fastest way to do it? Should you swim the whole way? Should you walk the whole way? How far should you swim? And then you start walking. So I remember having to figure that out. So I had to like create my own function that was a relation of the time it takes to get from point A to point B is this. So I'd have to come up with the equation, and then I have to find the maximum and minimum of each value.
I hate it.
I'm not an engineer anymore.
Yeah, that's how I got a C in Calc in college. And then with your passing, Calc 2. And then I took a summer class in 4.0 Calc. So do well in school the first time you go through a class. Because I almost lost a scholarship for it. So anyways, like, they needed to know all of that. So that's awesome. Blank keyword argument. So this means if I type in blank values aren't allowed. It's kind of annoying, but what you can do, you do blank is true. And it allows you to do that. And it's just an empty string. So that's okay. You know, depending on your code, you may be okay with someone typing in a random or a blank string. Maybe you're not. Just depends. Let's go on break. Yeah, because this has been a 32-minute video, so break time.